Welcome back to another Tuesday 10 Talk. Yes, this is my friend Rudy here. He's going to join me. He's going to help me talk to you about holidays. Look at that. He's even got a Christmas time chew toy. But we're past Christmas. We're talking Mardi Gras to July 4th. But before we get to that, we're going to talk a little about some things we've already talked about, starting with movies. Now, COVID keeps kicking movie theaters right in the nuts. And latest developments, pardon me, Wonder Woman was going to be a end of June movie. Now, boom, October, gone. Christmas time, hello, Wonder Woman becomes a Christmas time movie. Maybe some of you will see it in the snow. Others, maybe not. Hopefully here in New York City and LA, we'll get Wonder Woman by that time. Will remain to be seen, hopefully. Now, the other thing is we talked about recently about college football. This weekend, ACC, Big 12, kicked off the college football season in earnest. Now, did you, raise your hand, be honest, did you pay $54.99 for pay-per-view of Oklahoma University versus Missouri State? It's okay. No, it's not. But, pardon me. But if you did, that's okay, because it's college football. We love our college football, especially if you're a Big 12 and OU fan. I know, although I wouldn't do it. Now, let's get started. Let's jump right in to Mardi Gras. Okay, Rudy, go lay down. Good boy. So, before we begin, I do have to jump back and I have a confession. If you were with me for a couple of Tuesday 10 Talks ago, I went on a little rant about how pumpkin spice seems to be coming in too soon this year, and it shouldn't be here until after October 1st. But yet, pumpkin, and we went to our favorite place, one of our favorite places in New York City, but our favorite place in the Upper West Side, Jacob's Pickles. And they had already switched their special biscuit to the pumpkin biscuit. Now, if you've been there, you know that their biscuits are irresistible. But wait, there's more. Not only that, but they have put on a pumpkin beer. Oh, and not just any beer, but one of my favorite, probably my favorite pumpkin beer, Southern Sheer Pumpkin. So you saw the forces aligned against me. I had to resist. I could not resist. And I gave in way before I wanted to. So, sharing that with you, but I still stand by, it's all way too early. When it gets cold, that's time for pumpkin, October 1st. Let's go. And before we jump any further into our holidays, we do have to take a step back, because since we last time we talked about Labor Day to New Year's Day, but there's been a serious development in one of our holiday traditions that happen in the fall and are coming up very quickly. The New York City Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. One of the biggest, if not the biggest parade in the country, in the world, is going to go on in the face of coronavirus, but it's going to be a lot different. There will be floats. There will be about 75% less participants. And there will not be the traditional 2.5-mile walk from right around the corner of us all the way down to Macy's in Midtown. Instead, there will be specific special made vehicles that will handle all the balloons. There will be no people dressed up as clowns and other characters and bunnies or Kermits for all the balloons. It'll be all centered and staged down near Macy's. And there will not be millions of people lined the parade route. Now, what it's going to look like, it's all going to be on TV, and it will still look, there'll still be a parade of some sort. Santa will come by at the end, kicking us into high gear for the rest of the holiday season, but it's going to be different. Remains to be seen what it's going to be like, but Nonetheless, Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's, still happening. That's a good thing. Now let's jump into the remainder of our year of holidays. So first I want to start with Mardi Gras. And that happens in early February, and it has its roots in a religious holiday, and it does come right before Ash Wednesday, and it's called Shrove Tuesday. It has originated as a religious Christian holiday for Christians to have excessive Roman festivals and incorporate some of the Christian faith into non-traditional means. And of course now we brought it into this huge celebration, huge fun. New Orleans, the heart and home of Mardi Gras, but not this year. Will it be the same this year? Now there's a lot of time between now and then with us being able to beat and kick back the coronavirus, but will we? It's going to remain to be seen. And so that's going to be a big tell as to whether or not something like Mardi Gras happens, and whether thousands will flock to New Orleans for some bead throwing. Now we jump into the Sweetheart holiday. Not celebrated by everybody. It's not a national holiday, but it is a big holiday for some. Probably bigger for Hallmark than it is for anybody else. But nonetheless, a holiday that was actually started and not related to what its meaning is today. Saint Valentine was a martyr back in Roman times, and the Roman emperor wanted to recognize his martyrdom, and so made Saint Valentine's Day. But somewhere between that and, which was way back in 256 AD, somewhere in the early centuries of England and Rome, and somebody, as legend has it anyway, a scholar saw the lovebirds that come back every spring and are cutesy tootsy with each other and make more lovebirds. Change that into what we now know as Valentine's Day. And so we have this day of cards and gifts and lots of chocolate, expensive dinners, maybe some engagements, or maybe some proposals, maybe even some weddings. But it now becomes a day when lovers share with one another, and also some people celebrate that they don't have that, which is way okay too. Just kind of an example of a big day that's not really a national holiday. Now we move into a period, a holiday, and so that will be remembered by many of us as the start of the lockdowns, the first major movement in the United States to acknowledge and deal with the coronavirus. Most of us across the country last year did not get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. For us, March 16th was the last final time to get our beers in, to get our seat at the bars in, to get our indoor dining in here in New York City. Because on March 17th, closed, and remains that way. No parade, no big celebration of Irish heritage and celebrating St. Patrick. We all want that back, especially what it means to many of us in the fact that if we get that day back, we get those traditions back, then maybe by then, hopefully, we have kicked coronavirus to the curb and life is somewhat normal. It'll definitely remain to be seen. Very anxious to see what happens with that. Will we have an opportunity in March, on March 17th, to look like this guy? Now, moving into a holiday that again has its roots in pagan history, or non-religious anyway, but has truly become a huge religious holiday, probably one of the biggest religious holidays in the world, for not just for Christians, but for many other religions as well, Jewish especially. Talking Easter. Now, Easter comes from the Anglo-Saxon goddess of fertility, Easter. Again, a word that I'm probably screwing up, but Easter. So, it's a very holy day for many, a holy week, but it's also fun for our kids and our friends, our nieces, and maybe you. Maybe you still like to do those Easter egg hunts. Maybe you still like the chocolate. Maybe you still wake up every day, every Easter, with a bag of candy or a basket of candy filled with that green crap that used to just get all over the place in your candy. Ugh. The Easter eggs, again, going back to Esther and fertility. Now, rumor has it also that the Easter bunny, the bunny, was the sacred beast of Esther, kind of lending itself to the traditions and the folklore surrounding this holiday, this holy holiday. Now, for us Christians, it also signals the end of when we can get back and have what we gave up for Lent, if you gave something up for Lent for the past 40 days. Chocolate, beer, something naughty, maybe, and you go crazy on Easter. Lots of different things and lots of exciting things, but also for some, Easter may be a little troubling, like for these guys. Now we come to Memorial Day weekend. Probably the first time that, this year anyway, that we really got hit with underlying means of what coronavirus was doing to us. The country, for the most part, was in a lockdown. Some of the states were coming out of it. But nonetheless, this day signals a lot for many people, but most importantly, we honor those that we lost in war. And we do it very nicely. Except this year, there was no Fleet Week here in New York City. No Fleet Weeks, no parade of ships, no sailors or military all over New York, no festivities honoring those who's lost their lives giving for their country. It also didn't signal a exodus for vacations and kicking off the summer like it usually does, because everything was closed. At least here in New York City. Maybe by then, I know there's some places in other parts of the country that were not, and maybe should have been. That's a different story. That's a different tento. It's also the big time for movies. Now, traditionally, Memorial Day weekend was the launch of the summer popcorn movies. Now, I know we keep getting earlier and earlier with that, but still, that remains to be the kickoff of all the big movies. Then you know summer's almost here. Also, for us motorheads, it's like our Christmas, because we get a Formula One race in Monaco right after, followed by the Indy 500, and then right after followed by the longest NASCAR race. To not have the Indy 500 this year was a bit strange. Not having it on Memorial Day weekend. Almost as a bit strange as to not have the Kentucky Derby on May 1st. But I digress and I diverge. So, again, remains to be seen what this Memorial Day is going to look like for us. Will it be what we truly know it as? We hope so. Then we go from honoring those that served to honoring those that birthed us and brought us up. Mother's Day and Father's Day. One's in May, the other is in June. Which do you think came first? Mother's Day or Father's Day? And what I mean by first, which was the first recognized as a national holiday in the country? Both happening on Sundays. And if you said Mother's Day, you were right. Back in 1914, it was established. Whereas Father's Day was not actually recognized as a national holiday until 1972. Now, there were other renderings of it way longer before, around the same time that Mother's Day was, but still, Mother's Day came first. I mean, kind of rightly so. They gave us life. Rounding out our holidays, July 4th. Now, this year was a really weird one, especially here in New York. We had what went from a traditional, huge, massive July 4th fireworks to 5 days of fireworks all around the boroughs of the city, and you didn't know where that was even happening until 2 hours before. Barbecue Day, Celebration Day, getting together with Family Day, again, didn't happen. Now, it's all a mystery to us right now. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where it's going to come. But hopefully, we can get back to some normalcy and some beautiful, beautiful fireworks. Now, I know I haven't touched them all. I could take more time than wanted, more time than you're interested in, to talk about many, many more holidays, including International Women's Day, Bastille Day, and Arbor Day, or Flag Day. Now, I know some of those dates because some friends have birthdays on those dates. But do you know what they are, when they are? Maybe you celebrate some really obscure ones that nobody's ever heard of. Like Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Or Talk Like a Pirate Day. Aye, matey. Or National Peanut Butter Day. It's probably my favorite day. One of my favorite holidays. Or today, right now, September 15th, is National Cheese Toast Day. Did you know that? Did you have your cheese toast celebration already? Let me know what your favorite holiday is, whether it's one of these I talked about, whether it's one I missed, and tell me why. I want to know. Share with me on my Instagram or Twitter, AD_Foster. You can tell me right here in the comments as you're watching this, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me for another Tuesday 10 Talk. I'll be back again with something new, something fun for you to think about and enjoy. Sit back and relax and watch somebody make a fool of themselves. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week.